Hello, welcome back to Healing Momma Podcast. I am Val, aka Healing Momma, and today is episode 14, Control. What happens if we let go? So I will go ahead and kick it off. I have my headset on today, guys, because my dog is snoring and he snores like a big bear, and I don't want to wake him up and interrupt him. So I figured it would be easier for me just to put on my headset. So thanks for bearing with me. I'm hoping that the audio quality doesn't change much. So we will go ahead and kick it off with a quote. Our first quote is, "You can't control everything. Sometimes you just need to relax and have faith that things will work out. Let go a little and just let life happen." The second one is, "When you try to control everything, you enjoy nothing. Sometimes you just need to relax, breathe, let go, and live in the moment." I love both. I would say that that second one is my favorite because I feel that is something that I've been trying to do recently for the past couple months is release control. Release control because I feel like for so long when we look at control, it's like a safety blanket, right? I was telling my husband the other day, I feel like a lot of us have like a strong sense of control and we need to have things go the way we planned it. We want to kind of hover over situations because for so long, most of us did have childhoods or upbringings or a situation arise to where we felt like everything was spiraling and out of control and we didn't have anything we could say or do necessarily to help our situations. Growing up, I had my parents separate. I couldn't control the fact that my parents separated, right? Then my dad kind of moved on, got married, did his own thing. I couldn't control that he didn't see me or that he couldn't see me. I couldn't control that my mom had to work and was doing her thing, and maybe I didn't necessarily feel like I had the time that I needed to have that parental connection. So I couldn't control that, right? And I couldn't control anything else in my life. I was so young and so little. So when I became of age to finally realize that I could have a sense of control and that I could build these walls and put this barrier, this blanket of protection around me, which was my sense of control, then that's what I started to do. And it became to the point to where I would say, if you know me personally, then you would say like, oh, she's pretty headstrong. She's pretty bossy. And I honestly, that probably is the case. I, for so long, wanted to be set in my ways and have a sense of control. And now I'm kind of stepping back from that because in realizing everything that I have tried to control, I realized that I do take a lot of joy out of my life. And it could be simple things, right? It can be, I have a family event that we have to go to, and, my kids are getting ready, my husband's getting ready. Can I control people other than myself? No, that would just drive me nuts. But that's what I was trying to do for so long. I was trying to get them in line and trying to say, like, hey, guys, we have to be here. So then I was frustrated. I was frustrating them. And so there was still no sense of control. So I was taking the joy and the happiness out of things that I didn't need to, right? I didn't have to take away joy or happiness out of, hey guys, let's get ready. It's going to be a good time at our family event. I can't wait to do it. Instead, I was making us all miserable before we even got to the event. So when we're at the event, we're feeling some type of way. We're not in our best moods because I was trying to control everything. This time, what I'm really trying to work on is not controlling it, right? What happens if we let go of control? So I want you to ask yourself that question. If I release the need to control everything, what's worst case scenario, right? Okay, we're late to an event. What's going to happen? Is the party going to stop? Is the event going to stop because we're late? No. What happens if I release the need for control over my life? And I'll give you an example of what I mean. I'm an active believer in the law of attraction, in meditation, in manifestation. And so I feel like I do believe that I can create my own reality. And then I also feel like it kind of teeter-totters, right? Because the other half of me is like, okay, I'm trying to align myself with my greatest and highest good. And so I was just telling my husband the other day, how can I align myself truly with my greatest and highest good if I am trying to create and control my life with the law of attraction and manifestation? So what I've been doing recently is I've really tried to let go, right? I still do my words of affirmation, my manifestation journals, and still believe in the law of attraction, right? Still believe that if I want something, I can get it. If I focus on it and I put the energy out there, I believe that I can attract that. But what I'm really trying to do is that law of attraction and manifestation is also kind of, when I look at it now, a sense of control, right? I'm saying, here, higher power, I align myself with my greatest and highest good. But no, not really truly what I want to align myself with. I don't know if necessarily I want to align 100% with my greatest and highest good, because I don't know what that entails, right? Versus on this side, I'm over here saying, like, this is my life, this is what I'm picturing. I have the sense of control, right? But if I give it to my higher power, then I'm relinquishing that sense of control. I'm relinquishing that sense of, hey, I've already painted a pretty picture and this is what I want my life to be. When I say I align myself with my greatest and highest good, and I mean it wholeheartedly, what I'm doing is I'm truly doing that. I'm aligning myself with my higher power, God, in my case, and saying, God, my life is yours. I give it to you because you know what you have for me and what's better for me than I could even imagine myself. So I can be planning this whole future. And over here on this side, it could be amazing and more than what I'm even planning over here, right? So truly letting that go is scary, because what if it isn't? Like, what if it isn't everything that I planned over here? So to relinquish that control is something that is hard to do. And so I was telling my husband, I was like, I'm really trying to let that go. And I've really been, honestly, I've let it go, I would say, for the past 2 months. Not that I stopped doing like my, hey, this is what I want, this is my envision, right? I'm just saying, like, hey, God, this is what I want. Am I saying like I need to have it? No. I'm saying I align myself with my greatest and highest good. But hey, if you need some ideas, I like this house, I like this future path for me, right? Because I still do believe in the law of attraction. But now what I'm realizing is that as I am aligning myself with my greatest and highest good, I have come to the realization that opportunities are coming to me that I would have never even imagined, right? Well, let me give you an example. So for so many years, I have had this story and this need to share with people and learn and grow. And I've always loved writing. I've loved writing, but people would tell me, like, have you thought about writing a book? I'd be like, no, I don't really want to do that. And I've had it come up more recently with the podcast and sharing my life experiences and where I'm at in my journey and the journey of healing and inner child work. And still, I would be like, no, that's not really something that I want to do. And so, since I've been aligning myself with my greatest and highest good, I have seen that it's not necessarily what I want to do, but for some reason, it keeps coming into my path. And things keep aligning to where I always tell God, make things evidently clear for me. Make it so clear that I can't deny that this is you putting it in my path. So I'm very specific in what I ask my higher power. I'm very specific when I'm telling God, I align myself with my greatest and highest good. Close doors that are supposed to be closed, open doors that are supposed to be open. But I align myself with my greatest and highest good. So you bring into my life what you need me to do and make it evidently clear to where I can't deny it. And I know that this is you. And so back to the book, right? Again, I've been pulled all different kinds of ways prior to this, and like, hey, write a book, write a book. Hey, have you thought about writing a book? And I just kept denying it. Cause I'm like, I don't have time for that between my daily life, podcasting, editing, all of that stuff. I'm like, I don't have time to add something else to it, right? But if I'm asking to align myself with my greatest and highest good and I'm relinquishing control, then I need to truly be open when things do arise, when things do pop up and God is making it evidently clear. So a few months back, I had enrolled in a program called Masterminds, which is essentially just for entrepreneurs, people who are trying to delve into businesses and just become the best versions of themselves possible. So that was a few months ago, I would say back early summer. And I really haven't dabbled in it too much other than the 3 conferences that I did with them. I got a text message on my phone and the message said, hey, join us. We'll be speaking to this person, self-publishing. Join us and learn how to create and publish your own book. And I was like, no. So right then and there, God was making something evidently clear, right? Even though I'm saying, like, God, make it evidently clear, I'm still denying it and still pushing it, right? And I'm like, no, I don't have time for this right now. So I ignored it. And the very next day, I get another text message and it's like, hey, here's the recap in case you missed it yesterday. And I'm like, okay, all right, God, I see you. Like, this is you giving me a second nudge, right? So I go ahead and I did start working on my book. I hadn't like planned anything. I was just like, you know what? Let me go ahead. I have some free time. Let me start writing, really tuning in with myself. and just start writing and see what happens, right? No plans of anything. And so I go ahead, I look at this video, it's an hour long, and it's giving you the breakdown of this is what you need to do. This is where you need to start. This is the middle point. This is the end point. And hey, guess what? Just for you watching this video, a publishing company will speak with you and kind of walk you through the steps that's needed in order to get going and see if potentially they could work with you and where you're at in this process. So I was like, okay, God. So it's schedule a free call. So I am scheduling a free call and I am scheduled to speak with them on Monday. So we will see. Like I said, I'm aligning myself with my greatest and highest good. And so I don't know what's going to come of it, right? But again, it's relinquishing that control. Even though I'm still telling God, I align myself with my greatest and highest good, I'm still having that sense of control. I'm still trying to push things away. And so I keep telling myself, what happens if I let it go? What happens if I let go of the control? I open myself up to new opportunities. Maybe things aren't what I planned, but maybe it's a path that I need to go down to either learn something from it or take me in a new direction. And so who am I to close myself off to these things, right? It doesn't have to be a narrow path. It doesn't have to be one way. There's all different routes that we can go, but when we have a sense of control, we're keeping to that narrow path and we're saying like, no, this is the only path that I can go. I can't go left, I can't go right, but you have so much more opportunities if you keep an open mind. And so what's worst case scenario? So whatever your situation is right now, whatever situation you're trying to control, I want you to look at that situation and say, what's worst case scenario if I let go of this control? What's worst case scenario? Let's say it's a job. You're miserable at your job. You're like, you know what? I've had enough. I'm going day after day and I just can't do this. What's worst case scenario if you let go of that job and you've tried to find another one? I don't know what your worst case scenario is, so I can't sit here and give you advice, but I'm just saying, look at the situation. And if worst case scenario isn't as bad as you think it's going to be, maybe it's something that you need to open yourself up to. If it's a relationship and you are feeling drained and pulled and you're being abused, whatever the case is, but you feel like, okay, I can control myself in this environment. This is my sense of control. What's the worst case scenario if you let that go? What's worst case scenario? So I challenge you today, look at the situations in life that you are trying to control and ask yourself, what happens if I let go? What is worst case scenario? I will give you the example before I wrap up with my husband is terrified to speak to people in general. He gets high anxiety, but he's been really challenging himself recently, and I'm so, so proud of him. He's doing this thing called Toastmasters where you go into different meetings in your area and you hear different people speak, and the whole goal of these meetings is to build your public speaking, to be able to speak in public and give speeches. And so for him that's huge, right? He's trying to build this, he's working on growing and building himself as an individual. And so he came into this program and he's like, you know what, like they want me to do a speech. And I said, okay, what happens if we do this speech? What happens if you do the speech? What's worst case scenario? Well, I might sound dumb or I might get stuck. Okay, again, I'm going to ask you again, what's worst case scenario in that? You might sound dumb. You might get stuck. Okay, do you know these people? Does it matter? Even if you did know them, if they judge you like that, are those necessarily people that you want to keep yourself around? It's like, well, no. Okay, so worst case scenario is you mess up and you learn from it and you grow. So just yesterday, he went and he gave his speech. Guys, he came back so proud of himself, so happy, so relieved. And he was like, you know what? Like my brain kept telling me, my mind kept telling me, you're going to look dumb. You can't do this. And so that sense of control, your brain is trying to tell you you can't do something. It's scary. Don't step outside of those boundaries, those borders, because this is where we're safe. But look at how much growth you can have if you step outside of it. So he went from being so terrified to give this speech to he got so many kudo papers and they were like, Andres, that was an amazing speech. Hey, you have a powerful tone. Hey, keep doing this. I can't wait to listen to your next ones. And so I was so, so proud of him. I felt like a proud mama. He came home with a best speaker. Let me show you 1 second. So again, I am like a proud mama. This is my man's best speaker from Toastmasters. Guys, he did this. He stepped outside of his comfort zone. He stepped outside of the control that he felt he needed to have because he thought that that was going to make him comfortable. And he was so happy. He was nervous before. He kept practicing. He would get down on himself. He would need little pep talks. That's fine. This is new. You're not used to stepping outside of that control, stepping outside of your comfort zone, but he did it. And he was so, so proud of himself. And he was able to see that doing the uncomfortable helped him grow. He was able to see that by letting go of that control, he was able to grow. And so I challenge you guys, step out of your comfort zone, step out of that sense of control. What's worst case scenario? What happens if it doesn't go according to your plans? It might be better than you ever imagined. You might get everything that you've wanted in the sense of growth, in the sense of direction, and you keep holding yourself back because we feel the need to control things. I get it. Control is something that we felt that we had in order to tell little us, hey, I'm going to protect you now. But now we're growing through this. We're growing through that trauma. We're growing through that pain, and we're growing as individuals. So I challenge you to get outside of that control and that need for control and step outside those boundaries and do something that you never thought possible, that you were like, you know what? I'm so afraid of this, but I'm going to let go of that need for control, and I'm going to get me a Best Speaker award. I'm going to get me whatever it is. And I challenge you because I know that you can do it, and I know that I can do it. And so I'm excited for where this book journey is going to go. I don't know where it's going to end up, right? Who knows? But I leave it to God, and I let go of that control. And I know that I'm aligning myself with my greatest and highest good. So if this is something where I do end up publishing, or I'm learning and gaining an experience, life experience that I've never had, then I take that as well. So I challenge you guys. I send you so much love, peace, joy, happiness, positivity. I send it all your way. Receive it. And don't forget to share, please, if you can. It means the world to me. It gets my message out. So I appreciate it. If you could share, like, comment, follow, subscribe, whatever platform you're on. We are on, just recently added, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And until next time, guys, I hope you have an amazing weekend and have a great one. Bye, guys.